Alright, looks like things are rolling. At least I'm going to assume so. YouTube's going to take a little bit to catch up. But otherwise, hey, this is Ako Onigiri. I'm going to be streaming a little bit of Minecraft today. I'm going to show you around the place I've built so far. It's going to be pretty cool. Show you some of the other structures other people in the server have built. And maybe do a little bit of building later. Let's get started here in just a minute. I do want to take a quick moment before I get going to patch up a little hole in my roof there, though. Just something I've been putting off for a while. So, all things considered, this is my second day of streaming. I seen yesterday was pretty fun. Not a whole lot news happened. Gonna look into trying to set myself up to do something a little more interesting than just bare bones Minecraft. Maybe we do some Lost Ark at some point. Also, other upcoming stuff. A friend of mine also looking to do the whole VTuber thing. Gonna do a stream working on their avatar at some point down the line here. I think that'll be pretty cool for you guys to watch. Gonna draw it out and then rig it up. Unfortunately, those will probably be extraordinarily long streams. I think I just messed up my patch here. Give me a moment. I need to double check that. Need to make it even with the other side. Oh no, it is. We're good. So aside from that, what else is new? Not a whole lot. Went to the store the other day, tried to get a new chair to help fix that squeaky chairness. Couldn't find anything I liked where I went, so I'm gonna try and go again sometime later. Maybe tomorrow. This chair's quite old and it really needs replacing. Let's see, almost done fixing the roof and then we'll get going. Okay. I'm just going to toss that back in there, don't need that. And let's have ourselves a little walkabout. Cool. Nice and bright and sunny. So, yeah, as you can see, a lot of really tall walls from here. It's kind of uninteresting right now. This is just kind of a little manufacturing grove I have. As you probably noticed inside, I was using dark oak for a lot of the wood structure, but we're going to go up on top of the wall and we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on. This is the interior of the wall. Long tunnels go circle the entire area, slowly collecting invader banners because they seem to spawn for no particular reason inside the wall. Little bridge and scaffolding. I'm probably going to turn this into maybe a potions room or something at some point. I need to actually do the decoration on the outside here, and you can't really see any decoration on any of the wall right now, but that's okay. Eventually it's going to look kind of like what you see here, a support pillar structure on it. You can hear my skeletal horse whinnying down there in its hollow soul. Just gonna climb this real quick, get up to the top. So this is the actual territory I've been working on. It's at 200 blocks by 200 blocks all in all. It's been a bit of an effort. I am currently in the process of terraforming and tearing out all the interior. so I can build a castle proper. Not completely sure exactly how it's going to look, but I suspect. But the current plan is to do four towers in each of the interior corners there, and a large keep in the center. Once we get the keep set up, I'll be moving all of my stuff out of the basement there into the keep, and it'll be pretty cool. Up here at the top of the wall, we can see it's kind of this neat two-tiered, and it's got these red glowstone lamps. Currently, they're kind of set into an always-on position, but later on, once I get a little more, once I finish the wall proper, I was planning on going through and setting it up so that they were solar activated, so that the entire castle would light up at night as the sun was setting. It's honestly a pretty simple thing to do. It really doesn't take a lot of effort or additional materials to do it, but it's a very effective way of making it feel more interesting. We're just going to take a quick circle of the wall. It's really not that big. Takes a couple minutes. I don't know when exactly it happened, but this is how I got my skeletal horse sitting down over there. A bunch of skeletal horses spawned on top of my castle wall, and well, there's a couple still stuck here. Still using a few torches around here. We can clean those up real briefly since the redstone's set up properly beneath it. Instead, it was a bit of a struggle early on because I was laying in the foundation of the wall and just kind of throwing that down as fast as I could. And monsters kept spawning because I didn't have any lighting out here. So yeah, it was really annoying. But after a while I managed to get that glowstone lamp set up, so that's taken care of that. No more monsters spawning inside the castle. Well, not on the castle wall. That still becomes an absolute battleground every night. I'm just going to clean these up while we're here. Kind of forgot that they were here. And then we'll hop up on the highest level of the wall and take a circle of that, show you the surroundings. I've been slowly working on adding our fun little archery blocks there. The stuff you hide behind so you don't get shot by enemy arrows, the important stuff. I think I honestly made it a little too big because the fog limit is just barely cutting it off. I kind of wish I had made it like one chunk shorter in each direction, so that way you could always see the whole thing and the fog limit didn't come in and cut it off. That being said, when using a visual pack, it's not too bad. You can see what's going on a lot easier. We're gonna look out over there. So that little river that runs under the corner goes and connects to some of the structures some friends of mine have been building. That there is supposed to be a Capitol-esque building modeled after like the Parthenon. That there is a concrete and glass business tower. It's got a floor full of trees in the middle. Not personally my style, but hey, whatever people are fun with. We'll head over there because there's a few more structures just out of the fog site at some point. I'm gonna take another quick circle and show you what else is around here. Honestly, there's a lot of aspen forest in this area, which I didn't feel bad about just kind of deleting a whole bunch of that. Aspen forest is one of the most boring biomes in the game, so overriding a huge portion of it with a castle was, well, not a whole lot lost, let's say. Unfortunately, the height of this wall makes it a little hard to look out for just sightseeing purposes. But there's that river, and for the record, once I finish terraforming inside, I am going to clean up the exterior of this river so you can easily take a boat down it and curl through the mountains off that way, and take a boat off past the Capitol building over there, because there's some cool structures. There's like a swamp out there. There's a big field over there. It's a pretty cool place. I do also need to figure out what I'm going to do to address this mountain being taller than my wall. Wall doesn't do a whole lot of good when, someone can drop down from above onto it. It kind of fails its purpose there. And over here we have the windswept hills. Not a whole lot to say about them. They're pretty plain, but high verticality in them. A few monsters spawn here. It was kind of annoying at first working on this wall through the windswept hills, just because it was so these peaks here were so tall up that monsters were able to get onto the wall while I was working for quite a long time. And not a whole lot over there, just kind of the windswept hills shift back into the aspen forest. You can see a few weird structures. Unfortunately, they're a lot more interesting before you know that there's nothing particularly there. They're just kind of present. Though, is that cobblestone? It might be. No, I think it's just regular stone. Doesn't matter. Even if it was cobblestone, it's just a pillar there that doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose. No one lives out here, after all. A little bit of light, I believe that's a lava pool. You can see a few ponds in the aspen forest around here. Some flower beds, that sort of thing. We'll be running paths through there eventually. Just kind of show off just make it easier to traverse the overworld for those of us without Elytra. I've been told I need to go get one. One of the people on the server is basically like, I don't play the game unless I'm wearing an Elytra, and it's like, well, that suits yourself. Well, I'm mostly here to do building and a little bit of boss fighting on rare occasions. It's been a long time since I've taken a tour of that Capitol building, so we're going to take a look through there as well while we're at it. There's a little pool we can use. Actually, no, we won't use that pool. We'll head back inside, because I have a tram that I installed. One of the very first things I installed when I got into the server was a tram underground between my base and the others. I just tend to take up so much room when I'm building that it's more polite to run a tram between the locations than try and build next to some. My minecart's gone. Alright. The minecart's gone. Well, I guess that means we're walking. That's unfortunate. I really should put like 3 or 4 more minecarts down here, because occasionally I'll bump it or take the tram to the far side and come back another way, like through the end or something, and teleport it to my base rather than walk there or tram there. Alright, here we are. Not a very long tram ride, but we'll take the tram proper on the way back. So this is the most underground floor of their base. A friend of mine set up all of these villagers here as an emerald trading center. You can get pretty much any enchantment you want trading with these guys. It's quite convenient. So as long as you got the levels, and I do, as you can see, you can have pretty much anything on your weapons. For example, this is like a diamond sword, slashing and self-recovery and all kinds of stuff. This here is a second floor. It's mostly been used for digging and mining, I believe. However, my friend has been talking about hollowing it out a little more and building a small underground village. I think it'd be quite cool, and I do wish he played a little more and actually, accomplished said goal. Alright, ground floor. Let's take a tour of the tower first, while we're here. Ground floor, not a whole lot that's interesting. It's kind of the community exchange center, so stuff you don't need but you think might be useful to someone else, people put in the boxes around here. This is the community smelting furnace. I use my own personal smelting factory, but this is a lava bucket based furnace. We'll see the top side and how that works later on. Got ourselves a little enchanting anvil, enchanting table, you know the drill. Automatic sugarcane, always useful, always useful, always useful. Sugarcane can be used for a whole lot. Making paper, one of the big uses of paper here is to be trading for emeralds, so you can buy whatever you need from the vendors. And here is how the system works. It's just a bunch of dripstone feeding into... Ooh, how? Feeding into these hoppers. The hoppers fill lava buckets, and wow, that's spicy. Anyways, the hoppers fill lava buckets get shoved into the smelters below. I don't use it. I tend to use traditional coal personally. It's not that I think that this is a bad method, it's just that I don't want to spend the time to babysit the stuff I'm smelting enough to utilize lava buckets. I would rather just hook up a coal block on a hopper and call it a day. This is the Sky Lobby, I believe, or one of them. Sky Lobby, floor 5. Double high floor, not a whole lot to see, but we can take a look out the window. You can see we're going into fields. That is a very large building, currently being constructed. Oh wow, it's been a long time since I took a look. A lot's been done on it. Honestly, the architect behind that is incredibly skilled. One of the more skilled builders I've seen. They use several add-ons to really make their stuff look cool. I'm gonna head up here, next floor. Just a little window. Just because the whole Sky Lobby takes up 2 floors. They're largely empty floor. Guess this one wasn't developed. Seems to be the same for this one. Arboreum. Yeah. A selection of aspen trees. Just aspen trees. Kind of a little garden you can walk through. It's I'm not sure why they went with this particular structure for it, with the central pillar. I feel like that kind of detracts a little bit from the Arboreum, because you don't really feel like you're in the Arboreum at any point. But, to each their own. Huh. What is that? Don't know. Some kind of hitching post or something. The upstairs, the Arboretum. They're apparently missing some fencing here. And here you can get a pretty good look at how that Capitol building's going, and another look at how that manor is being built. We'll take a look at the manor in a little bit, but just a heads up, that manor is really big. It is difficult to navigate big. I suppose that's why the Elytra really comes in. This here is the top floor, a little kind of bar and lounge, and where the architect of this tower and the manor likes to sleep. Don't know why they chose the top floor. It's a long way up. Anyways, we'll take the elevator back down. And here we are, ground floor. Let's go take a peek at some of these other buildings, shall we? Just gonna top it up. Some stuff, not nether work, but some other kind of grass back from the nether. Let's see, I don't know how to get into this building proper, so we'll learn how. We'll climb up this scaffolding and take a look, shall we? These were kind of the caves that people were staying in when the server first started. Been completely overrun at this point by building construction. As you can see, this building is completely made out of wool and is extremely vulnerable to fire. That being said, it is still quite a cool building. All of these pillars are fully solid in construction, which is quite some dedication, honestly. Like, that is a ton of wool created. Later on we'll see the wool farm underneath that building there that fueled the creation of this. Man, this is quite huge. No stair steps yet, so gotta jump up all the steps. One of the inconveniences of using wool, you can't really build nice stair steps. I do really like the blue checker tile, or blue checker flooring that they did. It adds a lot rather than just being pure white the whole way around. Big improvement, definitely a big improvement. Let's see, I think we're heading up to the current top floor. Yes, indeed we are. I like the stair structure. Well, the overall shape of the stairs, not the convenience of having to jump up them. I suppose we didn't really take a look at it, but you can see the pillar pattern I'll be using around the outside of my castle there. I've done it in a small section, but haven't taken the time to go back and cover the entire wall. And it looks like there's a little bit of one more floor. Nice. I like the look, the pillar through the middle. I wonder if they're going to do anything interesting there. Build some kind of tall structure in the middle. Yeah, quite cool indeed. Anyway, let's head on over to the other large building in the area. hop on down here and across we go. Oh, one of those weird posts. Oh yeah, we have our cow, lamb, pork, and chicken food breeding pits. Quite useful indeed. Huh. That's something. I don't have a lot of food, don't judge me. I've not taken the time to basically set up any food manufacturing of my own whatsoever. So I'm pretty much wholly dependent on what I, you know, flinch from others. You can see the underside of the wool farm. Each of those is a track that a minecart runs up and down periodically and harvests wool from every single sheep in the farm. Just gonna top off here because, you know, hurt the hell out of myself. And here we are, Harvest the Manor. And you can see what I mean about it being a bit of an odd scale. The railing here you can just kind of walk through. Like it's so tall that it can't functionally be used as railing. These, you know, the windows are 3 meters high there with a meter wide lip on them. Like the building is just absolutely enormous. To the point where it is difficult to manage. Let's just put it that way. It's not that there's anything wrong with it, but it is difficult to manage using a building this size. I'm actually kind of thought the interior would be more done than it is. Doesn't really seem to be a whole lot of way to navigate to higher floors besides the scaffolding. But, you know, whoa! Okay, that hurt. That sucked. Not what I intended to do at all. Wonder what happened there. There's just a line right through it. Can't really make a whole lot out from here. Yeah, I wish I could get to the higher floors, but there doesn't seem to be a way up so far. That, oh look, glass panes. First time we've seen those in this building. Ah yes, you can see the top of the sheep farm there. It's quite amusing. There's just a ton of sheep hanging out there. Huh. It's just so barren inside and way too big for any practical purpose. Yeah, so here you go. You can see the sheep. Basically the minecarts just kind of zigzag back and forth underneath things like this, and that's the sheep farm. Just jump across there. Friend's bed. Yeah, I'm serious. He just kind of hangs out. And, oh, well, that's not right. There was supposed to be a bunch of stuff there. There used to be like a bunch of sheep stalls on top of... Oh, there they are. Yeah, so you can see the sheep stalls on top of the path there, and it just sits there and produces wool all day long. You can hear the clock mechanism ticking away, making sure that it's working on its regular intervals. It looks like we might be able to climb up to a higher floor here. Maybe? Let's take a look. Sort of is the answer. We're gonna remove that and put that back, real gentle-like. You can see inside finally. Big and empty. Completely empty. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool looking from the outside, but it's just so, well, empty. Like, it's kind of like a wedding cake or something. Well, no, a wedding cake's a bad example. It's kind of like an entire gallon of vanilla ice cream. You can eat it all in one sitting, and, you know, it'll technically fill you up and it'll taste pretty okay, but you won't feel happy at the end. You won't feel fulfilled. So yeah, that's kind of the tour. I think we're going to take a closer look at some of the mechanisms here, just for the sake of it. I wonder if that was supposed to update at some point, it just didn't. Yeah, honestly, it's kind of weird. These guys don't really use... That is a lot of shulker boxes. I am so jealous. These guys don't really use proper structures around any of their farms. They just kind of set them up out in the void and away it goes. Huh. Interesting. Wonder what the actual mechanism behind this whole setup is. How it does its job. Because it definitely seems to be quite effective. I'm told it can produce, you know, like a wool a second. And just sit here for a moment and watch. Maybe. There's a few that got produced. Huh. Interesting. Ice blocks to make it flow faster, I suppose. A lot of storage chests here. A lot of light gray wool. Oh wow, someone's been collecting a lot of dark oak. It's not me. Why are they all in shulkers? Why not just use normal boxes for this sort of stuff? Oh, look, it's the dragon head. The heart of the sea. You can use that to make a conch nexus and live underwater like a shark. Like a shark in a hoodie. Anyway, that pretty much concludes the tour. Gonna do a little bit of building now. Head on back to my base. We'll take the tram back. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of infrastructure set up around here, which is... I wish they took more time to set up infrastructure around here. Because you just, you know, you set it up one time, just one time, and you can use it easily forever after that. And it saves time, it saves effort, it makes you feel a little safer. But no, it's pretty slapdash. Then again, they got straight to building the buildings that they wanted to build, whereas I spent several hours setting up infrastructure here. And by several hours, I think I spent like a day and a half maybe, setting this up. Long old tunnel. Jesus, that's loud. Let me adjust the volume. Oh my, I just realized this entire time Minecraft's been muted for you guys. Let me fix that. Okay, let's get back to... That was embarrassing. Need to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. Music sounds. That about 30. Done. Back to game. Let's try that again now. How's that? Yeah, that's still pretty loud, all things considered. I think it's probably okay. No one to really say yay or nay, so we'll say that that's close enough. Well, so a little bit of growing pains there. Sorry, it's only my second stream. I haven't had a whole lot of practice. Forgot to double check the game mute. Well, we're definitely going to improve, so it'll take a little bit of time. I'm just gonna take this out right here. I don't think I actually need this for anything, though. Alright, back up. We're gonna do some building. Because building's the fun part. You know, it was really hard to eat a pork chop while underwater. Anyways, what? Enderman. Probably nighttime, maybe early morning. Early morning, perfect. Great time to start building. I think we're gonna head up to the upper wall and work on that some, because I believe the frame for that needed to be finished. We need some stairs for that as well. Alright, so first things first, empty out any junk in the bag. Got that. We're going to be using that. That's a foods item. Gold nugget. Why have I been hauling around a stack of gold? Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab those. Gonna grab a few of those. Gonna have to saw these a little bit. Deep slate. I probably did not want all of those to be deep slate. We wanted mostly that. And I do believe I need at least a few of that. That. Actually, we can do them this way. Do 4 at a time that way. There we go. Well, that's set up. Oh, we wanted to grab some oak while we're here too. Let's see. Here we go. Man, I could really use some more oak, honestly. I wonder if they'll miss some if I just go and steal some. That would be wrong though. Shh! Don't tell anyone. All right, to the top of the wall. Whole lot of berries. I installed the berries there because they actually help a lot with monsters harassing that particular structure at night. You know, zombies and stuff will wander up towards the house and they'll get caught in the berry bushes, and instead of harassing me, they just die, and it's not a problem. It helped a surprising amount. Spiders too. Spiders will climb the wall and stuff, and they'll again just die and stop being my problem. So yeah, we're gonna look into making the next section of wall look kind of like what we got here. We're still using torches in this section, but eventually we'll be also turning this here into having the redstone, or the red glowstone. Well, that ain't right. Oh, I don't have an axe. That's unfortunate. I guess we're cleaning these by hand then. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, come on. There. Put that in the bottom inventory. Gonna drop that and that and that. Clear this out real quick. So yeah, this has been a bit of a fun server. It's been a while since I played on creative. This is a fully vanilla creative server. Sorry, geez. I normally play on creative. Been a while since I played on survival. But when my friends made this server, they were like, you should come play. But it's a fully survival server. I'm like, I can play on survival. I've dealt with survival a few times in the past. So one of the largest structures I ever built was on a fully survival server, so I feel like it's not that big of a challenge, and honestly that was built what do you call it, pre-enchantments even. Like, it was an advent when I had to expand the structure to add an enchanting room because enchantments were released. Because it was one of the first major expansions that structure ever got. One of the biggest castles I ever built, close to 1,000 blocks on a side. It was absolutely enormous in every respect. I've tried a few times to start structures that rivaled it, but between, well, life being life and recognizing that back when I was in high school and Minecraft had only been out for, less than a year, I had a lot more free time. I had a lot more free time back then that I could just kind of dump into Minecraft whenever I wanted, and did that a lot. Did that too much, honestly. I was not so great at my Oni classes. The only class I was particularly good at was smashing. Unfortunately, things like our Oni history didn't do too well in Oni history. The funny story about the not doing too well in Oni history. I didn't. That bastard just. Okay, sure. We can deal with this. It's not that big a deal. I'll just pop up here. Gonna have to waste a couple blocks climbing back out. Drop that in there. Throw some more steps in there. Okay, where was he? Okay, he's way down there. Shouldn't be a threat all the way down there anymore. So we can get back to building our wall out. Throw these steps in and keep going. Just a little annoyance. See, and that's exactly why I need to do something about that mountain that goes higher than my wall. Rip it down so that we don't get mobs coming down from the mountainside to harass me all the time. You'd think people would have had enough of harassing Onis by now. We're really not that mean, we're just a little rowdy sometimes. You know, it dawned on me, I don't really know why I grabbed as much stone bricks as I did, because I don't seem to need them. I pretty much only need the deep slate right now. So we're probably going to have to go back a little early and get a bunch of deep slate so we can finish the top of this wall. 1 second while I take a drink here. Much better. Parch that. Deal with that parched throat there just a little bit. I tell it, doing the streaming thing and talking pretty much the whole time, you get a little more parched than you would expect, if I'm completely honest. Okay, yeah, we did not bring anywhere near enough deep slate for this particular task. I'm going to go back, swap out my inventory real quick for deep slate as opposed to stone bricks, and we'll be resuming building in just a moment. Ouch. That being said, I did repair my shovel recently, so we can just kind of mow through this super fast night. Oh yeah! Honestly, I'm just going to ignore all the dirt. I do not need the dirt even remotely. I have like four chests of this stuff at this point. I just want to get rid of it so I can build here later. It's super in the way. Yeah, this is like an efficiency 5 shovel, by the way. So it goes super fast. Oni style fast. Absolutely incredible. Sun is setting us. We're going to want to make sure we get back to base before monsters start spawning out here. And look at that, shelf's already half used up, and I barely made a dent on the dirt I need to get rid of. This has been a task. I have had to fully repair this shovel several times, and it is obnoxious, to say the least. There we go. Now that the inventory is completely packed with nothing but dirt, and the shovel is halfway burnt to the ground. I need to go ahead and make a new axe soon. Had a little incident while I was out exploring. I went and ran through the nether a whole bunch, popped a portal to randomly teleport back into the main world, and the portal appeared at bedrock at like -32. And as I was making my way to the surface, I got ambushed by a creeper and died. It was unfortunate. I managed to recover most of my things, but not quite everything. Not quite everything. Alright. I'm just gonna make a few blocks here real quick, because we need more of that deep slate, and a whole lot more deep slate for the record. There we go. All the deep slates set up. I'm gonna take a quick nappa-roo-hoo. And away we go, back to building. Did I? Let's see if we can grab some more wood. We could probably use to fill in those stairs while we're up there too. Grab that. Some stairs. That. There we go. I know Moomei loves her berries, and I know some of the others are like, Moomei, what the hell's with you in your berries? Like she just gets a little too attached to her berries, but honestly, they are a super efficient food source. You can just pick them up wherever. I love having a couple berry bushes just scattered about. What was that? Oh, God, they're in the crawl space between the floors. The electro. So I didn't really take the time to show you guys before, but this particular building is designed unlike the others. Every single floor is actually comprised of two floors. There's the engineering floor, which is what we're currently on, and then there's the floor that is supported and you actually work and live on, and the whole castle is going to be designed with that in mind, that particular pattern in mind, because it allows me to run redstone through the castle very easily to operate various mechanisms. For example, the lamps will all be connected up via redstone at some point, once we get the outer shell working better. Well, outer shell works, it's just not pretty? Not pretty. So once we finish the outer shell and beautify it some, I was going to go back and hook up all the lamps so they turn on and off at night, all on their own. Really enjoy doing that sort of thing. Small touches, man. If I fill in these now, hopefully it'll prevent me from getting knocked down into them again in the near future. Oh, that was embarrassing. And you know what the worst part was? I couldn't go get my Oni Vengeance and show you what my glorious Oni sword does here. It chomps mobs up pretty good, even ones in pretty heavy armor. Horse. Bony boy, please move, mate. Thank you. Thank you much. I don't know where you think you're going, but you know, don't wander off too far. I would like to be friends still at some point, you know, man. You know, man. You know. Ya know. You know. Okay, let's see. What was the pattern? Oh yeah. So we're gonna go pop, pop. Mhm. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, look at that! I actually put some wood in specifically to fill it. Use that pattern. Can just fill these in. This will dramatically increase the usability of this space, honestly. And that's been a kind of an issue with this particular castle, is a lack of usability. Uh, Usability is one of the things I consider most important when building structures, and honestly, I feel like to some degree this structure was a failure in that sense. Great sense of scale, absolutely love it, but man, it is so big, and it is so elaborate just to get the stuff set up that it has taken the startup effort has hindered its overall usability. Let's just put it that way. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do to finish up this this little wall here. But once we do, the next big step will be go in, clear out the whole thing, just flatten it out. We'll probably just throw a thin layer of dirt over some of the depressions there, make it all even with where that tower currently is, and it's gonna be grand to build in this space. I know this isn't necessarily the most interesting content to watch, but hopefully I'm at least making it somewhat entertaining to watch. There's a when you work with structures this large, you end up in a position where a lot of the time you're doing what feels like very monotonous work, just because you have to. If you're working on a, if you're working on a, if you're putting a pattern in of any kind, it looks like this. You know, you're doing small sections over and over that are the exact same. Or if you know you're doing those wall sections, you're just kind of zipping back and forth, placing blocks, eating up blocks super fast, and it's again still kind of monotonous looking. So, oh, nice. It looks like we're almost to the point where I have actually done some work, which means we're just about done with this particular step. We can move on to capping the walls as soon as this step's done. We'll have to go back and observe, make sure we figure out where I put all my lanterns to light the top of the walls. Once that's done, well, yeah, once the outer wall's done, it's going to be a bit of a... Or once the top of the wall's done, that's when the real challenge starts, because we're going to be going around the outside of the wall, adding deep slate blocks to the whole thing. So it's going to involve a lot of placing and tearing down of scaffolding. Don't need that. There we go. Now, if I recall correctly, I had put my lanterns on those, so the middle of each of these, and that was because that's kind of the dark spot given where the lights are near the foot of the stairs. And that's... so I try to space my lighting out a fair bit. And one of the big things that I really try and do a lot is I try to make my lighting look natural, like the kind of lighting one might actually use if you were to be building a structure like this in real life. So it's important that it's unintrusive. It can't just be like rule number one, torches scattered everywhere is always unacceptable. I have to build more defined integrated lighting. You know, it it just it looks better. It just looks better. I know a lot of people do that thing where they cover everything within 1 kilometer of their house with torches, but I just don't like the look of it. I think it looks bad. I would rather have my structures be placed in a largely natural looking environment and then build paths and roads that are lit by street lamps and stuff like that that light up at night and guide you, but during the day they all turn off, and it helps the world feel more alive because it's less static. You're not just wandering around never seeing mobs. You do see monsters and other mobs wandering around off the paths because the street lights only keep the paths clear and the areas near the paths. Sure, sometimes you see zombies or creepers or whatever start running towards you on the path, but generally, having a decent path, you can illuminate enough area that it's not really that big a deal. Like by the time they would get to the path, you are long down the path, and you just don't have to worry about them because the path keeps you safe, even though it's not like a perfect structure. Even though it's not like, a perfect enclosed, torches everywhere, no monster could ever possibly spawn within a kilometer of you kind of structure. Structures like that tend to just, well, by default look boring. When they're built kind of like this one, where it is where the structure itself is kind of this designed integrated entity where every square foot of it has a reason to be lit and has a reason for you to go there. And I'm still working on that second part for the wall. I mean, actually, the world does look cool to observe from the top of the wall. So there is that. Okay, here we go. What were these? These were... Okay, so row of solid blocks, row of dipped blocks, row of solid blocks, row of scattered. Oh, we're gonna need to go to the other side to do this, I think. Throw that. That? Is that right? No, this one's not right. That one needed to be there. There we go. Do we? Don't have enough, no. But we can still throw down the core deep slate blocks. It'll act as a guide frame later. Good starting place. See, like stuff like this. I don't like this. It's only set up the way it is right now because it was just too frustrating having creepers and stuff spawn on top of this narrow wall while trying to work on it. The heck? What's that? Why is there a hole here? Okay, well, that's patched now. Don't know where that came from. Endermen can't lift blocks like that, as far as I know. Ah, yeah. Look at that. Well, so we're gonna have to go use some of those iron piles we have, make some lamps out of the pile of torches in my bag here. Can run along the wall, replace bits with those lamps, and it'll be pretty cool. But you know, let's do this first. So that's going to be 5. And this will be 0, if I recall. But we're going to use this to bookend it. It's going to go 1. How did this work? So it's step, full, flat, full, step. So step, full, flat, full, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, full, and step, full, flat, full, and step. And it's just going to kind of go along like that for a little bit, and so yeah, how's everyone's day been? I hope you've all been enjoying the stream. We've been live for about an hour now, I believe. Honestly, a pretty good chunk of time. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna keep going. Maybe another half hour or so. I mean, it is Minecraft. It's kind of evergreen content, as they call it. Something that most people will always enjoy. I do need to get some work done on the other model. I guess I would officially get to call myself a papa once I finish that model, as I'll have made a second VTuber avatar that is not myself. It'll be a child. Ooh, won't that be exciting? Wait a second. Oh yeah, it was just that. That was a special case. I think. I think I did that right. I really hope I did that right, because this is going to get really frustrating and confusing if I didn't. I need to go check the other side before I do something stupid. I think what I'll do is I'll burn out what's in my inventory now. Once that's all used up, we'll probably call that good for the stream. So I'd expect maybe another 5-10 minutes or so. Not going to be a whole lot longer, and then I'll. Yeah, look at that. Did the corner correctly. Okay. And after that, I'll probably take an hour break, go get myself some lunch, and I'll be back on stream later with some editing on a VTuber model. My first child. It'll be cool. Hello, Horsey. I need to capture you one day. I mean, technically, skeletal horses like that are like tame by default for some reason. Or at least that one was. I didn't do anything to tame it, and it's just kind of been there since it spawned, so I assume they're tamed by default. I can hop on it and ride it whenever I want. I just, need a saddle to control it. But, one day I'll saddle it up. I have a few saddles I can use and ride it into a stable. I think, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll put a stable up near the front of the castle over there. That'll be a good idea. That can be a project for next stream, in fact. Just because, I could use having a stable. There's space to put a stable. The ground's fairly close to terraformed there. You can see how I would build that sort of stuff. The little details and eccentricities I would put in. Oop, that's backwards. I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I've been Akko. Yeah, I suppose I can talk a little bit about my history playing Minecraft. As I said earlier in the stream, I've been playing this game since the first year it came out. So one of the really early adopters of the game, and it like it's doing with many young people today, it took over my childhood. It's so I'm a veteran to the game. It's been fun watching it change and evolve. There's a lot of the new stuff I haven't really played with that much because, well, I took a break from playing Minecraft for, I don't know, probably a good 5 years or so before a friend invited me to hop on the server with them. That that looks like about all the items. I don't have the full blocks there to finish measuring properly, so better to not make mistakes. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of getting back into it after a long break. Excited to go explore all the content around. I personally have never been out to the end to find those end cities or shulkers or anything. I spent a little bit of time in the Nether, pretty close to the trails that some of my friends have built in the Nether, but really not exploring that much there. So I haven't seen any of the cool new Nether biomes really. I'd love to go explore those on stream with y'all. It'll be it'll be pretty cool. Anyways, we're gonna get back to base here just a second. Oh, a second there, I thought I saw a spider in there. But no, nope, no spiders. Okay. It's raining. It's been about an hour 20 minutes or so. Hour 15 minutes. Hour and 15 minutes. And I've been not going. It's been a pleasure streaming for you guys. Was it was fun showing you around the base, but it's noon here. It means it's lunchtime. Time to go cook myself up a big slab of meat and chow down. Have yourselves a good evening.